this is Megan.
And this is Mark.
Welcome to our 13th video journal of Avengers Campus construction at Disney California Adventure. Today is January 4th, 2020.
First of all, if we look at the Spider-Man show building, we can see that antennas have been placed on top of the building. This is what it looked like last week, and I'll dissolve the picture back to what it looks like now. These antennas can also be recognized on the concept art. Here's a view of them from the ground level. Next, if we look to the right at the Web Suppliers building, we can see that set pieces have been installed here as well. This is what it looked like last week, and I'll dissolve the picture back to today. This is a view of it from the ground level. Now if we slide to the right, looking at the Avengers headquarters building, we have a good view of the slanted wall that was created last week. Comparing it to the concept art, the area that we're looking at is approximately here. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the two. Notice that the area next to the slanted wall, which can be seen better here from this angle, right here. This area is located behind the slats on the concept art. I find this area very interesting because if you look closely behind the slats, it looks like Iron Man or some other superhero is located there. It'll be cool to see the developments of this over time. Alright, now if we look at the Backstage Building that they're making behind Cars Land, we can see that steel decking is being added to the top level. We'll go down to the ground level to see the building from that perspective. Notice that vertical beams are on the top. These beams are only on the side of the building facing us. It is possible this wall of the building facing Cars Land will be themed to complement Luigi's attraction, and these beams are in position to help with that. We'll see as time goes by. Now a crane is lifting what appears to be stairs for the building. Workers are guiding them into position.
Today is January 6th, 2020.
The crane that is being created for the exterior of the Spider-Man show building is coming along. Final set pieces are being attached to the crane's framework. If we look closely through the screen, we can see them installing one of the pieces. One of the top panels is being brought into position. Now it's being tightened into place. The worker on the left is unwrapping another piece of the crane. And it's being brought to its location. The piece will be placed approximately here. The worker is bringing it down one level of the scaffolding. If we compare this to the concept art, this piece that he's going to be adding will be located approximately here. more pieces are being lowered as well. As you can see, one of the workers is prepping one of the segments before it's installed into position. Now it's all ready. The workers are attaching it into place. One of the workers went down one more level of the scaffolding to fasten the bottom part of the segment. Next, if we go back to the top of the crane, another crane panel is being put into position. And another panel. Now that they're installed and tightened into place, the protective plastic covering on the rods on the top is in the process of being removed. The crane is definitely coming along. It's looking nice. Next, if we look down to the sidewall of the Spider-Man show building, we can see that more of the brick wall has been completed. This is what it looked like last month, and I'll resolve the picture back to what it looked like back on January 4th. Notice that the bricks have been added to the wall. However, only the bonding coat has been added. The cement between the bricks isn't there. Now I'll resolve the picture back to what it looks like today with the cement added. It is looking good. Here we can see that more vertical beams for the dividing wall that'll separate Cars Land and Avengers Campus is being put into place. From the Pixar Palaron perspective, we can see some of the wall beams. Now if we focus our attention to the sidewall of the Spider-Man show building, new side beams are being connected. Comparing this location to the concept art, the part of the building that the beams are being connected is located right here. These beams will be used to hold up banners, as we can see between the beams. The worker we see in the picture is aligning and connecting this horizontal beam to the side of the building, and the other side of the beam will be connected to this vertical beam. And the location of this beam structure on the concept art is this one. Now we're looking at the Avengers headquarters building, and more metal studs are in the process of being added. The worker at the bottom of the picture is adding diagonal studs, which is located here on the concept art. These studs that are being added will help create a diagonal wall that we see in the concept art that will be adjacent to the entrance to the building, which is located right here. The worker is using a speed square to measure the stud. This will make sure that the next stud that will be put in place next to this one will have the same height and angle. Next, he's using a laser level to measure the stud. Typically, a laser level has either green or red lasers. In this case, he's using a green laser. Green is a little brighter than red and usually is the preferred color when working outside in the sun. Now that the alignment is complete, the next stud is put into place. Now the distance between the studs is verified.
Today's January 11th, 2020.
As we can see, the three beam structures are completely installed on the side of the Spider-Man show building. It's interesting that the fourth one that we see in the concept art hasn't been installed yet. Also, the attachment plate that the horizontal beam would be attached to has been removed. Notice that there's a white covering over the window next to it. It's possible that they're waiting to install it so it doesn't get in the way of the construction. If we look up, we can see that a black weather-resistant barrier is being added to the exterior walls of the restrooms. Next, we'll look to the right at the headquarters building. We have a good view of the new metal studs that have been added. If we compare this to the concept art, this slant in the wall is where we saw a worker add metal studs last time we were here. And from the view that we're observing from Pixar Pal Around, these exact metal studs are located here. And as talked about before, an entrance to the building will be next to this wall that they're making. And adjacent to this entrance, the area with the slats will be located here. It is really coming along. Well, that's a taste of things to come.
We can't wait to see what they build next.